Today, Donald Trump and Joe Biden have a sleep-off. Iran hits Israel in an unprovoked attack. Walmart has urbanized. Hasan Piker attacked by SJW for staying hydrated with a sweet treat. And later, an exclusive interview with Turkish Quandale Dingle. All this and more on NSR NewsHour. Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Become a member today and unlock exclusive content at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio. We start off with news in the United States. This is America First.
Now watch this drive.
Sleep. It's an important piece of life all humans need to survive, but we can never seem to get enough. And as our Congress grows older, wiser, and ever more sharp, sleep is an even greater necessity. Donald Trump has seemingly paid attention to our coverage. On Monday, Donald Trump seemed to doze off, according to reports, during pre-trial proceedings in Manhattan.
Trump appears to be sleeping. His head keeps dropping down and his mouth goes slack.
And Donald Trump, according to the observations of reporters in the courtroom, falls asleep.
Slack-jawed, his mouth hanging open reportedly, according to New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman.
While his opponent Joe Biden has been routinely criticized for his joy of sleep, receiving the popular pseudonym Sleepy Joe, there may be a new contender in the world of sleep. According to the physician to the president in their latest report of President Biden's current health summary, Sleepy Joe has experienced symptoms consistent with obstructive sleep apnea in the past. Perhaps he's not so sleepy after all. However, if we take a look at Sleepy Don's activity on Truth Social, we see two posts in succession. The first at 1:43 a.m., the second at 6:57 a.m., receiving a max total of only 5 hours and 14 minutes of sleep. Not very sleepy either, which makes sense because the grind never stops. Let's take another look at Sleepy Joe's current health summary. According to the physician to the president, Sleepy Joe's obstructive sleep apnea symptoms have improved significantly since his sinus and nasal passage surgeries, allowing him to snooze endlessly. So, Sleepy Don or Sleepy Joe? Well, Sleepy Joe sleeps more than Sleepy Don. Who is more sleepy? One who sleeps less or one who sleeps more? Only time will tell. Taking a break from domestic news, let's have a look at the latest global happenings. Over the weekend, the Iranian government, as well as several militia groups from various countries in the Middle East, sent over 300 drones and missiles in an unprovoked attack on Israel. Now you may be thinking, unprovoked? Israel attacked the Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria. While you may be correct in that statement, Israel was in fact acting in self-defense. According to Israel's defense secretary, the IDF received exclusive intel that Hamas was hiding in the Iranian consulate, as paperwork and bureaucracy is often used as a disguise by Hamas in order to achieve more insidious activities. NBA star LeBron James gave his take on the situation earlier this week. Nothing like two heavyweights doing what they do best, for the love of the sport. I couldn't have said it better myself. Alright. It's time to bring it all home and focus on the heart and engine of the American economy. It's time for the Northwoods Report. Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, is against the minimum wage. Not a low minimum wage, a minimum wage entirely. Earlier this year, the Minneapolis City Council voted to enact a $15 minimum wage for ride-share drivers, including Uber and Lyft. This is because Uber and Lyft drivers as independent contractors are not entitled to a minimum wage, leading to their wages slowly dropping over the past decade, making it harder and harder to survive. Jacob Frey subsequently did what he does best, and vetoed the amendment, followed by the city council overturning his veto. Uber and Lyft have threatened to end service in Minneapolis starting May 1st, when the amendment was initially scheduled to take hold. But Minneapolis City Council has since pushed that start date to July 1st in fear of Uber and Lyft's departure. Mayor Frey, allow me. I may have a solution. I personally have never used Uber or Lyft. I've never had the app on my phone. The transportation I choose is public. public transportation. Why not take all the Uber and Lyft drivers in Minneapolis and hire them as bus drivers? And with the influx of new bus drivers, you could make every line twice as frequent. I'll be here all day, Mayor Fry. In other local news, Walmart has urbanized. The first ever Walmart in Minneapolis has been announced to open in the warehouse district of downtown. Now, as we all know, ever since the BLM protests in 2020, downtown Minneapolis just hasn't been the same. Open-air drug markets, gang activities, defecating in the street. These are threats we've all encountered while braving the mean streets of downtown. But now, thanks to the construction of a new Walmart, downtown faces a new threat to the American people: wage theft. The world is rapidly changing. The internet is a growing trend, and the kids are using it in mysterious ways. Let's get social. There's a new phenomenon sweeping the internet, and it's called Rizz.
I've recently become fascinated with the term Rizz.
If you're Gen Z, you know what Rizz is. It's just using your personality and charisma to romantically entice a girl.
It's like an all-encompassing thing, right? It's the whole package.
Rizz is a term popularized on TikTok that refers to a person's ability to attract or flirt with others effortlessly.
So do you know what Rizz is? I don't.
If you're still confused about Rizz, it's basically the way the youth of today are competing in the marketplace of ideas, using Rizz as a tool for attracting other individuals into their sphere of influence, even going as far as to throw parties solely centered around Rizz, a time for the youth to put their Rizz on the line and compete amongst peers. One Rizz party in particular has been the subject of immense ridicule and criticism. Joining me today are two prominent figures of this discourse, Leader and Turkish Quandale Dingle. Boys, thank you for joining me. To start off, let's have a quick look at the clips that went oh so viral.
Hey, yo.
Wow, amazing. Dingle, my first question is for you. Set the record straight. Rizz party, mating dance, what's happening in these viral clips that are sweeping the internet?
Like, we all just showed up to the Sweet 16 looking to have fun. We didn't know the camera guys were going to be there. So, like, when they took the video, we're like, all right, they're not that popular. But when we look back, like, during that week, when we had the Sweet 16, we saw it blow up. And we're like, oh, my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, you definitely got some crazy moves there, Dingle. Leader, given the name, you must have had the most Rizz that night.
No, I didn't.
No? But you're the leader of the group, right?
There's no group leader. I guess, maybe, I'm probably one of the more outgoing ones, so I wanted to try and, help my friends get into it, too. So, I try to, start it off and maybe, try and also, get them into it, too. So I guess I think the confusion, but there's no group leader.
Oh, wow. Interesting. There was an extremely red individual in the viral video. I believe he goes by the name Tomato Boy. What's his deal? Because he didn't seem to be putting on much of a show.
Personally, I've been knowing that kid, since I was, one. That's, one of my first friends. So, no, he wasn't trying to fit in. We're all, really close. We actually already know each other. So that's just, that's not true. We actually know. I have no explanation why he was so red. But it was also the end of the night. So we all, already were, we were all sweaty. We were all tired. So, I guess, he just got red from it. I have no explanation. I really don't know, but we do know him. He's another one of the kids that we grew up with.
I see. You know, it's a bit before your time, but when I look at Tomato Boy, he reminds me a bit of Bob the Tomato from VeggieTales. No? Doesn't ring a bell? That's all right.
You're just making fun of, a 15-year-old, trying to have fun.
Okay, Dingle. I just want to remind you, this is my show, and we could say bye at any moment. All right, boys. Before we go, let's set the record straight. Rizz, no Rizz. How Rizzy would you say you were that night?
I would say we're pretty Rizzy.
All right, boys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks again to Rizz Party members Leader and Turkish Quandale Dingle. And now, we turn to a new segment on NSR NewsHour. What did Hasan do this time? The radical left seems to be getting more depraved every day. Now, the latest display, the Young Turks contributor Hasan Piker receiving this vulgar rant mocking wounded war vet, Congressman Diet Kokeshaw, for drinking a sweet treat fighting for his hydration in West Hollywood. Here exclusively to respond to that vile creature is West Hollywood streamer Hasan Piker. Hasan, What was your reaction when you first heard this?
Oh my god, I hate women. I hate women so much.
Cut him off. Well, folks, there you have it. Hasan Piker is in his incel era. I hope he gets better soon. This has been an SR News Hour. Join us again next week as we continue our discussion on World War III. Peace and love, and free Palestine. Hey folks, I'm starting a podcast. 30 minutes will be on YouTube for free, and the next 30 minutes will be only on my Patreon. Consider becoming a member today at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio.